All right, welcome to another episode of the Corona Spotlight 2020. This is Gayle Nicholson, and it looks like my stuff is still a little bit thrown off kilter here. I'm not quite sure what's going on with this, but we're gonna get that fixed immediately. Um, and the cool thing today is that I've got Justin Zerlich on screen, who is the guy that fixes these things for me. Hey, welcome, Justin. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing amazing. It's
Awesome.
awesome to see you, Gail. I know we chat every now and then, but yeah, I'm stoked to finally be on. It's the Corona Spotlight, right?
Yes.
It's awesome. The Corona Corner, if you will.
Yes, exactly. Corona Corner. I love it. Um, yeah, and we're gonna be doing a lot of stuff even after this is technically over and done with. Once the quarantine is over, we're gonna find ourselves in a whole new world, right? Um,
Yeah.
eh,
Um,
Go ahead.
Sorry, I don't want to step on you, but you're exactly right. I mean, this should not go away after the pandemic ends. I have preached for years, and I think people are finally starting to see it or being forced to see it that your brand really does need a human voice for their digital presence. It's something I do in my own business. It's something that I do now for clients at Knucklehead. Um, I know recently when we first introduced to each other, you found out that I had recently became the director of content strategy for Knucklehead Media Group. And so now this is something we're pushing out to all of our clients. And it really should be the focus of some people moving forward.
Absolutely agree, 100%. And for those of you out there who are trying to differentiate yourself, I cannot recommend Justin enough. You'll see as you scroll through your Facebook feed in these next few days, over the last few days, you will see that there are a lot of people doing Zoom meetings. And you've got your little box over on one side and your box on the other side, and this little name down here in the corner. And that's all there is to it. Justin is responsible for everything that you see on the Corona Spotlight being put in place from literally less than an hour of doing a couple of things for me and showing me how they needed to be done. And then I went in and started adding logos and all that kind of stuff. So, this, I believe, differentiates the Corona Spotlight 2020 from all of the other people that are out there just interviewing people. And I don't really think that there's very many people that are out there just interviewing people, giving them some exposure during this time. Besides me, there's just people that are talking online. So as this new world starts developing and you start finding your place in it, um, you you're definitely going to want something, some branding, something to to identify you as people are scrolling through their Facebook feed, stopping and going, I know that because of how it looks. So
Yeah,
Justin, go ahead.
no, I didn't mean to step on you there, but it really it does distinguish you amongst your peers or others that are just having these conversations online, um, in the sense that your live experience or your virtual event is branded, and it just looks a bit more professional than if I were, on my cell phone doing a live video from my garage or my front porch or even sitting here in my home office. It brings a bit more credibility and authority to what you're speaking to or whatever your field is. And as you mentioned, um, you know, the, it's not something that requires an extraordinary investment to at least get the basics up and running. We spent a few days together just going through how to use the broadcasting software, how to, set up your scenes and your sources. And then I left you to your own devices and you were able to put all of this together. Of course, there's always technical mishaps, especially when you're using Zoom and the entire universe is currently eating up the bandwidth of the internet right now. Um, but I think you had put out a post yesterday. How long did it take us? A couple of minutes, jump on the phone, we were able to fix, kind of sort out Zoom's problems, and here we are today.
Yeah, literally that the post that I put out. I looked at the phone after we got off the phone, and the timestamp on it was 11 minutes and 38 seconds. So yeah, so less than 12 minutes turnaround time, and he took me from literally at 11 o'clock. I went to go live. It wasn't going to go live because Microsoft Windows and Zoom updated themselves. And pretty face over here. I only know so much, and I couldn't fix it myself. So I put a call into Justin. It took a little while for him to get back to me because he is so busy with everything. I mean, the entire world is going online right now, and Justin's one of the best for getting you there. So I knew there was going to be some time, so I declared self-care afternoon. I told a couple of friends I was going to go day drinking until either Zoom or Justin reached out to me. And then once he did, right at 5 o'clock when the workday was over for other clients, he's like, "What do you need, Gayle? Let's get on a call." And 11 minutes and 38 seconds later, my stuff was back to being in business. And let me tell you, in between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m., I'm like watching my dreams go down the drain.
Oh no.
I'm just like, if and of course, given that I am prone to conspiracy theories to begin with, oh yeah, Bill Gates and Microsoft is sabotaging Zoom, and we're not going to be able to do this kind of stuff anymore, and they're going to put a cap on it because people are sharing too much truth out there. And, yeah, it was a day for day drinking. Okay. And then Justin came and saved me. So thank you very, very much. My prince on the shining keyboard.
I'm going to use that as my new title. Thank you.
There you go. Prince of the shining keyboard. So tell me a little bit more about, a lot of what people are having to deal with that I've seen talking about is a lot of, well, first of all, their conferences, anything in person is getting canceled. So there's either a way to bring it online or it's going to die. This is a Darwin moment for the world, for America. If you can't adapt, you will die. Maybe not physically, but the business, right?
So I can give you four really good stories. 4 or 5, depending on, I don't want to take all of your time, but our most recent client is a great veteran nonprofit called 23rd Veteran. Mm-hmm. And what they do is they host these nearly naked ruck marches, and there's no nudity involved, but what they are is they go from city to city, and they hike with packs up to 10 miles or a distance that's significant to yourself in order to raise fund for a 23 recon program, which is just a reconditioning program for veterans suffering from traumatic stress and depression and anxiety and other combat related ailments and mental health issues. And they're based out of Minnesota. I met them here in San Diego because they hosted an event here, and we had previously done work together. Well, their Duluth, Minnesota nearly naked ruck march was scheduled for it was the 28th. Okay. So just a couple of days ago. And the CDC obviously put the kibosh on that. Now, that's an event that they typically raise anywhere from $60,000 to $100,000 for during. Now, they could have just canceled their event like everyone else and raised $0. But because I was able to go through and actually turn their in-person event into a virtual event by having small groups of people, less than 10 and 6 feet apart, all meet either in their homes, their garages, their backyards, at their local park. We took all of these people, we put them on a Zoom call. We even got 3 different deployed units from Iraq and Kuwait involved. And we all did it together. We all hiked and we all worked out from our own spaces. And we were able to still meet almost, oh my gosh, I want to say, I know that event, the day of the event, they raised something like $13,000 or $17,000 plus the donations that they were able to keep. So they got up to about $50,000 in donations, which is less than what they would have gotten from, the in-person event.
But still 50 grand more than if they'd canceled outright.
Exactly. So if you're a nonprofit or if you're a business that has these events and now you're thinking about, you know, how do I get these funds? Let's build a virtual event. It works. And actually, it worked so well. We are now going to build in a virtual portion every single hike that they do. Um, and you know, beyond the monetary aspect and beyond me helping a nonprofit do this, it really helps everyone, because right now we're all sitting at home, we're all missing each other, and that interaction and that human voice, and just seeing each other, that we were able to bring together people from 43 different states across 5 different countries
It's,
for one purpose at
yeah,
one time, all interacting with each other, singing, you know, marching, dancing. It was a blast. So it really helped with all of our mental health, and kind of uh, replaced that need for human interaction by being able to interact with each other virtually over, you know, Zoom and
yeah,
the Facebook Live that we completed.
that's phenomenal. So
Hmm.
that just absolutely incredible that that could be done and done so quickly. Normally
Yeah.
it seems like, normally if we were to go to corporate businesses and go, hey, you should probably have your workers work from home, and this would be a good idea for going forward. The time that it would take to get through the bureaucracy of, can we do this? What about the investment and all of these other details? And we've actually been forced into, handle this, do this now. And it's
Yeah.
really amazing to me how creative people are getting with meeting the need like that, like you just described so well. And the flexibility of, oh, I guess this is possible after all. The
Yeah.
company that I used to work for 6 years, I can do what I do at home. Nope, we want you in the office. I can do what I do at home. Nope, we want you here in case we want to shift directions in the middle of the day. Over the 6 years, there not once was I ever called into an immediate meeting that I had to be there for. But people get
Yeah.
set in their mindset of, this is how we do business, until forced into a different way. So, what
I
are some of
think
the other?
you have hit the nail on the head. I mean, this pandemic has forced not just corporations, but just organizations in general, whether it be business or nonprofits or book clubs, to realize that not everything has to have an in person element. Um, Most companies would have told 99% of their employees, like yours did, nah, we need you in the office. This is, you know, it's an in-person job, blah blah blah. Now we're starting to force that realization that no, you know, a majority of our work can be completed online. And even after this pandemic ends, I think you're going to start to see a new normal of more telework, more remote work, more virtual events, more, hopefully more companies and brands especially realizing that they need a human voice attached to their digital presence, or at least heavily influencing their content strategy to be more authentic and real online, less copy paste, more, you know, human voice.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely agreed. So,
Actually, another great example is another one of my clients, Punch Code, which is the coding school for Tech Impact. They're out of Las Vegas. And this wasn't anything monetary, but they had to cancel classes, obviously. The school shut down, sent everybody home. Instead of just sitting on their hands and saying, oh, you know, how are we going to get students and how are we going to, you know, support the school going forward? We are currently, because it just started April 1st, I think, to the 17th, doing a completely online, completely free introduction to technology course. And so we were able to set that out and roll it out within days, giving people impacted by the pandemic in Nevada and Vegas and really throughout the United States the opportunity to gain, you know, an additional skill while stuck at home. And I think that's going to be huge for them, especially there in Vegas, where the gaming industry, hospitality, et cetera, have been especially hard hit by the pandemic.
yeah, absolutely agreed. I have a number of friends up in Vegas right now that are performers,
Yeah.
musicians, and some of them are. savvy enough to do some Facebook lives and get out there with, whether from their home studios. Others,
Yes.
they don't, they know music, they don't know computers, so
Mhm.
they're having a little bit of a struggle there. I mean, and I can't imagine, because when you go into that kind of upper level performing, like would be required for a Las Vegas act, you don't spend a whole lot of time in front of a video chat type of thing. So your
No, you
awareness
have a
of
team.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And you said it, they're stuck at home and they have no means of performing. That is a great content piece to be able to jump into a Facebook Live, jump onto YouTube, whatever digital medium that they choose, and raise some money. Whether that's through performance or maybe tutoring, lessons, teaching someone, a either an instrument or singing lessons. There are a million different ideas that if you are stuck at home right now, laid off, or just going stir crazy like many of us are, uh, you know, there's opportunity here in this virtual space. Whether
yes.
you contact me at Zerds or you come through knucklehead.agency or you just reach out to a friend that's technically savvy and say, hey, this is an idea I have. How can I make it a reality? There's a lot of us out there ready to help you.
Well, yeah, in fact, that's exactly how we've really connected. Is we were
Yeah.
both, members of the same Facebook group, but I put out there that I was having a real hard time getting OBS to work with my laptop. And as it turns out, I might actually be able to go back and fix that now that I know what we figured out yesterday, because that's what the other thing was doing too. The processor, in fact, now that I recall, the processor isn't beefy enough in that particular computer to handle the
To
video.
really handle all of
Yeah.
this. Yes, there is, I say there's a lot of opportunities out there for everyone, and I make it sound extremely easy. Um, it does take a certain level of not just knowledge and know-how from the technical side, but also, there's hardware limitations. Obviously, you need to be able to download and use certain softwares. You need to have a machine or even just a phone for some people that is beefy enough to allow you to do these type of live broadcasts or record and edit up video. So that's why it's important either to reach out to someone like me or my agency or to do some self-education, and whether that's through your Facebook community or YouTube or just finding articles online, there's different ways that you can educate yourself to be able to do these things.
Yeah, agreed. And quite honestly, as much as I did in self education and some of the, the reading that I did to get me to a certain spot, it wasn't until I reached out that I realized that no matter what I tried on this, my hardware was just not going to cut it on that laptop. I had
Yeah.
to use different stuff. Now, tell me a little bit more about it's not just about moving in and doing these spot virtual events, right? I mean, that's great,
Oh,
but you got
so
to have some strategy behind it, right?
exactly. So again, uh, as I encourage people to do these virtual events, brands and organizations should not just be going live just for the sake of going live. That's very inauthentic. And what I like to say when I teach clients about content strategy, or even in just discussions about content strategy, is content strategy really is relationship management. So your brand should be building these relationships with clients, or your organization should be building these relationships with clients and prospects and just your overall audience and communities anyways. So there has to be strategy behind that. You can't just willy-nilly throw content together and expect it to be engaging and cause conversions, whether that be a product buy or a service buy or even just a follow and engagement pickup. You treat it like you would any other relationship. And I know nobody on a personal level wants a fake friend or wants to play nice with someone. We all crave and desire authentic, meaningful relationships. And the way to do that is to ensure that your brand is using an authentic human voice when putting their digital presence out there. We don't want to consume corporate copy and paste content. We want to consume, a relationship, a person,
Yeah.
a connection. We want to feel some meaningfulness behind the interactions with these brands and these companies. And so again, my main deal is content strategy, whether that be through with Knucklehead Media Group specifically, we deal with podcasting. That's one of the major mediums or channels, if you will, where we help organizations or brands and companies build kind of a human voice for their podcast. And we build that out for them, and we help them turn these relationships into conversions, or we use the phrase turn dead leads to life. So, we help you essentially convert by building out this podcast that helps you out. I've gone way off topic, Gayle. I'm sorry, but yes, there has to be a strategy behind what you're doing. Do not go live to go live. Ensure that there is a purpose, that your purpose fills some need, and that you can get it in front of your audience that's going to engage with it. Now, something that a lot of people say and they worry about before doing these things is, well, I'm worried about the quality. Maybe my computer isn't the best. Maybe my webcam is horrible. Maybe, and I tell them, while quality is important, production value is not the most important thing. The most important thing is that you are going live, giving value, or offering some ask that fills a need or makes people feel good or causes engagement within a community. So really, it's about the connections that we're making more so than the production value, or more so than does my webcam look great. Look, I'm working from home now. I'm in an office. You see my big old nasty filing cabinet. I got two little girls out there running around. This isn't the best production quality. This isn't what you would normally see me produce. But I'm offering something, a relationship with you, Gayle, and with your community that I think people will find engaging. I really think brands and people need this information. And again, I don't think this is going to end with the pandemic. So even once we're out of the woods with this pandemic and we are all back at the office, this is going to stay with us. This is something that needs to stay with us to get these brands and these organizations and companies to realize that it's really about relationship management, and we can all do better with online relationship management.
I absolutely agree 100%. It does come down to nobody wants to be sold to. And how can they like, trust, and know you if they've never connected with you, right? And we all want to do business with people that we know, like, and trust. So
exactly.
Now, and I got to point out too, you mentioned about working from home and, your filing cabinet in the background and the kids are in the other room and all of that. But I'll tell you, I would rather see you in your natural environment like this with your Chicago hat on and, your mood lighting behind the couch, than I would in an impeccably trimmed beard, 3-piece suit, necktie around your neck, because that I won't connect with you as well. I won't believe that you're really good at IT, for one thing, in a necktie.
Well, you touched on it. It's not authentic.
Right.
And so even when I am not, in this messy office, I'm a t-shirt and jeans guy. So when we meet, or if you see me produce additional content, I'll probably always be in a t-shirt and jeans just because I live in the digital space. There's no reason to be in a 3-piece suit in front of my webcam, talking about tech and digital media.
Hey, as long as you got pants on, I'm good.
Well, I'm not going to stand up.
Okay.
No. But yes, touching back on what you said, it's authentic, and that's something that we all crave. And you're right, nobody wants to consume the same webinar, the same videos that we see on every Facebook ad, the same videos we see across YouTube. It's the same guy sitting there in his garage with the Ferrari that he rented, or the same guy sitting in front of a brick wall because that was, the scene that he chose. No, this is real life. We're
Yeah.
all going through this together. We're all stronger together, so let's connect. Let's do
Right.
it.
Absolutely. Now, let me take this authenticity down another level here. What's this like for you? I know that you're utterly slammed. I know that you're working from home. I know that you've got a couple of daughters that are probably on their 30th run through of Frozen 2.
Frozen 2. Yes.
What do you do to maintain your sanity?
That is a great question. To be honest, not enough. I just had a production meeting this morning with uh, the Knucklehead team, and we all kind of, we like to start off our meetings discussing what wins we've had recently and how we can help each other. And I left the meeting, speaking with Steven and just discussing some mental health aspects because it really is important that we take care of ourselves. So while I need to be busy and I need to be making money in order to survive, I also can't neglect my wife. I can't neglect my children, and I can't neglect my own mental health. So for me, that's walking the dog. It's just getting out of the office for a little bit, stepping outside, getting some air, spending good quality time with my family. And even I live here in San Diego. A majority of my immediate family lives back in Illinois, hence the Chicago Bears hat. Getting on a FaceTime call with them and just making sure everything's good back home. Maybe that's getting on a PlayStation game with a younger brother or something. There's just a million things we can be doing to ensure our mental health is taken care of, and we don't do it enough. That's another thing that should not end after the pandemic is being aware of your own care,
Yeah.
being mindful of your own body and spirit. And that comes with a work-life balance, which is a bit tipped right now because
Yeah.
of the pandemic. But yeah, thank you for mentioning that, Gail,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I didn't plan on talking about that, but that's something that came up recently in a meeting, and it's something that I should do more of. Yeah, you got to take care of yourself, or you're no good for anybody.
Exactly. You need your cup full in order for it to spill over onto others, and you need it full of something sweet. Because the
I
last
love
thing you
that.
want to
I'm
do.
stealing that.
Thanks. Tell me a little bit. I want to talk a little bit more about Knucklehead's agency and Szerds. I know they're two
Okay.
separate things, but I want our audience to understand what exactly each of those are and how they can benefit them.
Sure. So Zerd, I'll start with Zerds because that's the company that I founded, and it is to use a kind of a generic term, it's a digital marketing firm. So we do everything from content creation to content strategy, video editing and production, product promotions, um, to social media management, ad campaigns, etc. Everything you would expect from kind of your run of the mill marketing firm. Um, Knucklehead Agency is a content creation company specifically for bringing that human voice to your business through podcasting. Now, they are introducing more content medium channels since I've arrived. I shared previously that I just became their director of content strategy. So we're kind of bringing in more of that workload to Knucklehead Agency. I would say the only difference between the two are really the owners of the company. Eventually, Zerds will probably be absorbed by Knucklehead so that we can focus on all of the channels through one company. So as it is now, if you contacted me through Zerds, you would be probably just doing some video editing, some promotional material for your company, maybe a voiceover, maybe a on-location shoot here in San Diego. Maybe you needed a social media manager, and we could provide you with social media management services. If you contact me through Knucklehead, it's because you see value in these audio video mediums to bringing that human voice to your brand. So we would, be talking about getting you a podcast set up. We would be talking about what type of content strategy to use across all of your platforms, whether that's social media, email campaigns, your website, and things like that. So there is a distinction. Two great companies. I'm very, very proud to have founded Zerds, and it's supported me for the last few years. It's a wonderful organization. And I'm extremely excited to be part of Knucklehead Agency just because I believe, I'm sorry, Knucklehead Agency is the website. It's Knucklehead Media Group is the company name.
Gotcha.
Um, I'm excited just because I do believe in this platform. I truly believe that, I mean, look what we're doing right now. This came about because of the pandemic. And there are probably 100 million more organizations that are all going to be doing something similar and all going to be getting into podcasting or a platform similar to this. And they have no roadmap. There's nowhere you can go beyond self-education to say, hey, how do I do this podcast? What do I need? Where do I do it? How do I actually do it? And so that's the kind of the main sell at Knucklehead Media Group is we're turnkey. You literally are just going to contact us. We have a roadmap. We have a content strategy plan. We have the know-how and the experience we're going to build this for you. And then maybe 4 months down the line, you decide to, I know enough now, I'm going to continue what you have been doing, or you stay with us. We also offer the management services. So not only are we going to build this thing and teach you how to do it, but we're going to manage it. We're not just going to leave you high and dry after, a couple of days of classes. No, we're going to be with you for 6 months, a year, longer, however long you need us. So I am most excited about that because the pandemic has given us an opportunity to kind of showcase what we're so good at.
Yeah.
And so, yes, if you are interested in podcasting, live video, interviewing, chatting, any type of show hosting, reach out because I really want to help you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Justin, and thank you for the repeated times that you have saved my bacon in the past and probably will in the future as well. I definitely encourage everyone watching right now, reach out to contact Justin, find out, just have a conversation, find out where this fits for you. And you can reach out to him at zerds.com/contact, or, on Facebook, Justin Szerletich. I want to pronounce that the wrong way. It's like, it's the first syllable is the strongest, right? Szerletich, or is it Szerletich?
Yes. That's how, you can ask 10 different family members how they pronounce it. You'll get 10 different answers. But I tell people it's easier if you just ignore that there is an S in front of the Z and pronounce it with a hard Z. Szerletich is how I like to say it.
Awesome.
Gayle, one thing before we leave, I wanted to tell everyone, first of all, how awesome you are. Thank you for this opportunity. Connect with Gayle. She's doing these Corona Spotlights. It's very important for us to learn and engage with each other. And she's giving us this platform. And I love you for it. Thank you. It's been a pleasure working with you. Secondly, you got a very special sneak peek at a content strategy ebook that Knucklehead Media Group and Szerds are collaborating on.
I did.
And I wanted to just kind of give everybody an update. That is going to be available very soon. Even if you are not wanting to connect with, an agency or me specifically, we're going to give you our whole content strategy guide, our whole our roadmap in an ebook form. And that will be available on the knucklehead.agency site within the coming weeks. So keep a lookout for that.
Excellent. Yeah, definitely. And when that is ready, if you'd like to come back and give a little shout out about it, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So any final thoughts for everyone out there other than inviting them to the content strategy ebook that'll be available soon?
I like to end every conversation or every piece with just stay awesome. Remember that you're human. It's okay to feel a certain way, especially during this time, and just take care of one another. Just be good to each other.
Beautiful. Party on. Awesome.
Thank you, Gayle.
Thank you. Take care.
You as well.
When you open yourself up to actual energy work, makes that recovery progress so much faster. That recovery is possible. You do not have to live as a victim until your last days. You have unbelievable strength, and I know that because you're still here. Do you want to create something completely unrecognizable with your life? I can show you how.
Is it over?